Good morning everyone. This video is for the students of class 7th subject English. In this video, we shall read a lesson number 8 Infinitives and Gerunds from our PC Ren's grammar book, and this is my lecture number 1. So, before knowing what are infinitives and gerunds, we should know what are verbs. Verbs are words that are used to express an action, event, or state. Verbs can be divided into two types, that are finite verbs and non-finite verbs. We shall read what are finite and non-finite verbs also. But before that, know one thing, that non-finite verbs are divided in three categories: infinitives, gerunds, and participle. In this video, we shall read about infinitives and gerunds, and in the next video of lesson 9, we shall read participles. Okay? Now look at the following examples. Ram plays football. They play football. In the above sentences, verb play is limited by the number and person of the subjects. Means if the subject is singular, then I have added s or es with the verb, that is plays. Okay, but if my subject is plural, then I will not add any s or es. That means my subject has changed, therefore the verb will also change, and therefore it is finite verb. Okay, so we can say a verb that changes according to the time of action, the number of people doing the action, singular or plural, and the person, first, second, or third person pronouns, doing the action is called a finite verbs. The changing verbs are known as finite verbs. Okay. Now look at these examples. I want to go, they want to go. In these both the examples, verb is same, to go. Okay? See, in the above sentences, the verb to go is not limited by the number and person of the subjects. Therefore, it is non-finite verb. Clear? Or we can say non-finite verbs are verbs which do not change their forms according to the tense, past, present, or future, or the number of people doing the action, singular or plural, or the pronoun used as the subject, first, second, or third person pronoun. The verb which do not change is known as non-finite verb. So, in this way, there are two kinds of verbs. Okay, finite verbs and non-finite verbs. What are finite verbs? A finite verb agrees in number and person with its subject. Basically, it changes according to subject. If subject changes, then it will also change. And what are non-finite verbs? Non-finite verbs are not limited by the number and person of the subject. These do not change their forms according to the number, person of the subject. Means non-finite verbs do not change according to the subject. They remain same. Okay. Now, non-finite verbs are further categorized in three parts: infinitives, gerunds, and participle. Okay, so what are non-finite verbs? The verbs which do not change according to subject are known as non-finite verbs. These are categorized in three types: infinitives, gerunds, and participles. Okay. Now in this video we shall read about infinitives and gerunds. So let's start infinitives. Now the question arises, what are infinitives? The basic verb form that often acts as a noun, okay, and is often preceded by the word to is called infinitives. Okay, So we can say that infinitives are formed by adding to plus verb form. Okay, to plus verb form. For example, to come, to go, and to learn. Okay, these are the examples of infinitive verbs. An infinitive is a non-finite verb preceded by to. Okay. Now, infinitives can be of two types. One without to, that is known as bare infinitives, and one is with to. Okay. Now, first of all, we shall read about bare infinitives, or we can say without to. The infinitive is usually used with the word to before it, but sometimes it is found without to. And when the infinitive is used without to, those infinitives are known as bare infinitives. Now we shall read uses of bare infinitives or infinitives without to. First use is to is not used after the verbs let, bid, make, need, see, hear, watch, observe, help, work, and feel. For example, he made me sit there. I heard him cry. I will go there. I made him run. He should work. Now, in these sentences, we noticed that there are some verbs which are used without to and they are infinitives. Like, he made me sit there. I heard him cry. I will go there. I made him run. He should work. Now, these are the infinitives which are used without to. So, they are known as bare infinitives. Okay. The second use of bare infinitive is these infinitives are used after modal auxiliaries like will, would, shall, should, may, might, can, could, must. For example, he can sing. Now in this sentence, the verb sing is bare infinitive. Why? Because it is an infinitive verb which is used without to. If I write the same sentence using to, then I can write he knows how to sing. In that case, to sing will be infinitive with to, but I have removed to and after modal auxiliary I am using the verb. So now here in this sentence, the verb sing becomes bare infinitive. I hope it is clear. See the second example. He will write soon. If I write the same sentence using to, then I will write he has decided to write. Now in that case, to write will be infinitive with to. But here I have removed to because I am using this verb after modal auxiliary. So here in the sentence, this verb will become bare infinitive. Okay. So we have read about bare infinitives, the infinitives which are used without to. Now we shall read about infinitives with to. See, read these sentences. To find fault is easy. He likes to play football. She wants to work hard. Now in the following sentences, to find, to play, to work. Okay, these are infinitives. See, the forms to find, to play and to like are infinitives. The infinitive is the base form of a verb often preceded by to, means it is to plus V1, verb first form. Understood? So what are infinitives? Infinitives are the base form of verb, we can say verb first form, which are preceded by to. Okay? Now, we shall read uses of infinitives with to. Okay, we have read about the uses of bare infinitives without to. Now we shall read about uses of infinitives with to. The first use is it functions, or we can say works as subject of a verb as. Okay, it functions as subject of a verb. For example, to swim is good exercise. Now in this sentence, to swim is working as a subject. So the infinitives with to works as a subject in the sentence also. To respect our elders is our duty. To respect is infinitive which is working as subject. To find fault in others is easy. To find is infinitive which is working as subject. Okay. See the second use. It functions as object of a verb. It functions as object of the verb in the sentence. For example, girls like to dance. Now in the sentence, to dance is infinitive which is working as a object of verb like. Okay, object of verb like. So infinitives also functions as object of a verb. See next example. I want to go there. To go is infinitive which is working as object of verb want. I want to help you. To help is also infinitive which is working as a object of verb want. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Now let's have a look on more examples how infinitives work as subject and object. See, Rama likes to play cricket. To play what? Cricket. That is object. So here to play is working as object. To play is his great delight. What is his great delight? To play. That is working as a subject. So here infinitive is working as a subject. Third, to learn is very important. What is more important? To learn. That is working as a subject. So here in this sentence, infinitive to learn is functioning as a subject. See fourth example. I want to swim in the pool. Now here, I want what? I want what? I want to swim. So to swim is object of the verb want. So here in this sentence, it is functioning as object of the verb. Clear? See fifth example. The most important thing is not to give up. The most important thing is what? To give up, not to give up. So it is working as object. Sixth example. To be funny is the goal of comedians. What is the goal of comedians? To be funny. This is working as a subject. Seventh, he reminded her to go downtown. What he reminded her? To go downtown. So here to go is working as a object. Eighth example, to dance is my little girl's dream. What is my little girl's dream? To dance. Here to dance is working as a subject. Okay. Ninth, to go to college is a good idea. What is a good idea? To go to college. So to go is working as a subject. 10th, I forgot to take my medicine today. What I forgot? To take my medicine. So to take is working as a object of the verb forgot. Okay. I hope it is clear to you. Now we shall start our next topic, that is gerunds. Okay, what are gerunds? Basically gerunds are ing form of verbs that function as nouns. Okay, these are ing form of verbs. See, read the following sentences. Walking is a good exercise. Children love watching television. He is very good at drawing. Eating is essential for life. Now in the following sentences, look at the word walking, watching, drawing and eating. These words function as noun. Okay, these are ing form of verbs which functions as noun. So, a gerund has the same form as the present participle. Okay, a gerund is that form of verb which ends in ing, like watching. Okay, I told you na, watching, drawing, these are gerunds. Okay. Now, for better understanding, have a look on the following examples. Jogging is good for physical fitness. The word jogging is formed from the verb jog by adding ing. It is therefore a verb. Okay, but it is also the subject of the verb is. Jogging is. So it is performing the work of a noun. Now, if you ask yourself what is good for physical fitness, the answer is jogging. So it is also a noun. Now, if you look the second example, that is singing is her hobby. The word singing is formed from the verb sing. Therefore, singing is a verb. But singing is also the subject of the verb is. Therefore, it is doing the work of noun. Now, if you ask yourself a question, what is her hobby? The answer is singing. So it acts like a noun. So we can say a verb that performs the work of a noun and which ends with ing is known as gerund. Okay, understood what are gerunds? The verb that performs the work of a noun and that ends in ing are known as gerunds. Clear? Now, let's have a look on uses of gerunds. The first use is it is used as a subject. For example, swimming is good for health, gambling is a crime, reading novels is a good habit, smoking is injurious to health. In these all four examples, gerunds swimming, gambling, reading and smoking are used as a subject. Okay? The second use of gerunds is it is used as an object to a verb. For example, I do not like reading books. Now here in this sentence, the word reading, that is gerund, is working as an object of verb like. Okay. I hate driving fast. It is working as an object of verb hate. Stop writing. It is working as an object of verb stop. Fourth, your shoes need polishing. Okay, so polishing is working as a object. So we can say that gerunds are also used as objects of a verb. Okay. The third use of gerunds is it is used as an object of a preposition. Okay, these are used as an object of a preposition. For example, he is fond of singing. Now, of is a preposition and singing is a gerund which is used as object of a preposition of. Similarly, look the second example. I am tired of waiting. Waiting is gerund which is used as object of preposition of. She is good at writing articles. Now, writing is gerund which is used as object of preposition at. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. So, this was all about infinitives and gerunds. I hope it is clear to you. Now, your homework is you have to do given exercises and you have to revise infinitives and gerunds. Okay, if you are having your PC Range grammar book, then you can do your exercises in your book itself. Otherwise, do it in your rough notebook. So, your first exercise is underline the infinitives in the following sentences and state whether each is used as subject or object of a verb. Okay, you have to first of all identify the infinitives and you have to underline them. After that, you have to tell whether they are used as subject or object of a verb. Okay, so first sentence is Hari likes to ride. Second, he refused to obey his orders. Third, to play cricket is pleasant. Fourth, I like to swim. Fifth, he promised to help me. Sixth, he used to say so. Seventh, I hope to hear good news. Eighth, he tried to help his friend. Ninth, I wish to go home. 10. To speak the truth is your first duty. Now, the second exercise is put the verbs in brackets in the gerund or the infinitive form to complete the sentences. So, what you have to do in this exercise, whatever verb is given in the brackets, you have to write those verbs either in the gerund form or in the infinitive form to complete the sentence. Okay. So the first sentence is I can't imagine Peter in bracket go by bike. Second, he agreed dash or we can say in bracket buy a new house. Third, the question is easy in bracket answer. Fourth, are you thinking of in bracket visit my place? Fifth, we decided in bracket run through the town. Sixth, the teacher expected Siba in bracket study hard. Seventh, the man asked me how in bracket get to the main road. Eighth, she doesn't mind in bracket walk the night shift. So that's all for today's video. I hope you understood the topics. If you like the video, then kindly like the video and please subscribe the channel. Thank you.